Hey guys, welcome back to How I Met Your Fandom. This is Ethan and this is Ibrahim. Happy to have you guys back. So we're gonna do something a little different today. But before we get started on that, just a couple things to say. Thank you so much for watching along the way. We really appreciate you guys, and we really appreciate the input and the views. And we've had a couple people reach out to us with some awesome opportunities coming up for other things that we're really excited about. But what How I Met Your Fandom is gonna evolve into really is just like a whole bunch of discussion about a bunch of different fandoms. We're really excited to get to talk about the new Batman movie. There's a whole lot of stuff going around about the new Batman movie, and there's a whole lot of other options that we have. We love video games, we love comic books. Let us know a fandom that you're really curious about, really interested in, that we could begin to have a discussion about. And we'd love to even like potentially have some guests on or anything like that. We have that opportunity to have guests on and stuff like that. So let us know what you would like us to do. We're really excited about it. But we've got our own plans, but we'd love to partake in the plans that you guys would think would be great.
I posit that we get Barrett Lyle on it and to talk about Digimon.
The Barrett Lyle.
Talk about Digimon. I've heard him do it before. And he sounds like he loves talking about Digimon.
Yeah, a lot of our friends like, because we got Adam Hale and
Yeah.
like we got a lot of people like
Yeah.
talk about Digimon.
Yeah, Digimon is. I think it's underrated as far as fandoms go.
It's super underrated. I would love to. That would be sick. That'd be
Put on the docket.
Yo, season 3, Digimon season 3.
Oh, slap so hard.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. See, we just nerd out all the time. This is what we do. We literally just talk about stuff and nerd out about all the things. And we would love to nerd out about whatever you want to nerd about, or potentially like bash, things that are like terrible. There's a movie coming out that I'm really interested in. Have you seen the trailers coming out for the school shooting movie?
Whoa, what?
Yeah, dude, it's intense.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, here's the plot.
Tell me.
Here's the trailer plot. Basically,
Pause. What's going to happen is, tell me the trailer plot. I'm going to tell you my plot, because I also had this idea before.
Oh, okay. So basically, Red Dawn?
Yes.
This is essentially Red Dawn high schooler. Basically, this guy's out like teaching his daughter to hunt, and he's nervous that she's gonna be too anxious to pull the trigger, and she just blows that deer out, like bam, got him. And he's like, I've seen that in my. He's like ex-military. He's like, I've seen that in the people around me. It's not good. You got it. And she's like shoves it off like, yeah, whatever. It's just no big deal. Whatever. They go to it's the day in their high school that is the senior prank day. So all the seniors are doing weird things, like there's like bras hanging everywhere and like people doing weird stuff, right? But she notices some guy on the field, and she's like, what is he doing? And like her friend's like, it's nothing, I'm sure it's some prank, whatever. And they're in the cafeteria, and then someone's doing like a promposal thing in the cafeteria on whatever, and this van comes running through the wall, bam, comes through the wall, and some kid loads a gun, fires a couple in the ceiling, whatever. All of a sudden it's on from there, and they set it up as it's her against these domestic terrorists of high schoolers. Like I'm telling you, it's like the Red Dawn of high school or something like that.
I've had the same idea twice, and I'm so mad. I need to actually start writing scripts. Not that anybody could read them. I don't know. Literally, I had the same idea that evolved when I was younger. It's that same plot, essentially. Not the prank day and prom or anything like that. But yes, it's Red Dawn in high school, where it's just a couple other good students get a hold of these guns and they go back and they fight back against the school invader and shooters, whatever. But it evolved as I got older. And with some of with the politics and everything like that, it evolved to a teacher fighting back, because we have all the laws saying teachers should be carrying guns, all that kind of stuff like that. And I wanted to, because at first it was just a raw, violent movie that a teenager probably thought up. You know what I mean? But as an adult, it was like, no, this is a movie with a message, and it's like it's on a pulse, and it's about a teacher who is ex-military, who knows how to use guns, but doesn't want them in the classroom.
Right.
And then I would say like a small squadron, obviously not one student, not one lone shooter, but maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 come in to do the devil's work, and he has this one. He meets him in the hall. And he has a gun up to him. He's a good teacher. That kid doesn't want to shoot that teacher. It's like, hey, man, chill.
Yeah.
Just give me the gun. And it just turns into a scuffle, and that kid dies. And it's like, all right, we're doing this. And it's the teacher going to war with these kids. And I called it Teacher of the Year. because like it, like I can just see it, like, already politician. Oh, can't speak. Politicians gonna be like, look at this movie praising. This is why teachers have guns. But like the message is, no, teachers don't want this shit. Even if they can use guns, the toll will take on them to actually take a kid's life would be devastating.
Right. They don't want to do that.
Yeah. But like I feel like it serves two masters.
Well, yeah. That kind of stuff, I'm super. I would love to like watch this movie that has a really high potential to be really bad.
Yeah,
I can't take it. Like I wanna watch these things, and I think we'd have a good time talking about these things.
Our own little, was that Space Theater? Nah, never mind.
Oh, okay.
Edit that out.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. Mystery Space Theater. There's a Netflix show about this same thing. Watching movies and commentating on it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, today we are here to expedite. I couldn't think of that word. I've been struggling with words lately, man. It's tough. We are here to expedite this series. Ibrahim and I have decided that we really think we should finish out the series and get caught up because the finale just aired last Sunday, right? And we don't want to miss the gap of that, and we want to be able to talk to you guys about the stuff while it's pretty fresh.
Yeah,
so today's episode is dedicated to catching us up to that. So we're actually, instead of doing our normal format where we talk about the episode and then have an episode that we call back to and kind of like compare it and get all excited about it, we're actually just gonna like recap the season so far to where we are right now and see what you guys think about it and see what we both think about it.
Yeah, because ideally you guys are already caught up. You know what I mean? So
surely you guys aren't waiting for us.
Yes. Man, episode 4. Where's that at?
Gotta wait. Oh my gosh, yeah. So we know what's going on. We know we're behind, and we want to get on par with you all, and then it also frees us up to move into this other content we would like to do. Which, by the way, if anyone's watching this, we actually could use a graphic designer that would like to make a How I Met Your Fandom logo that is not How I Met Your Father oriented, since we're branching out into new stuff. So if any of you all have some free time and just love doing graphic design stuff, hit us up with some drafts. We'd love to see them. And
we'll remember you.
Yeah.
We'll remember you. We'll be like Nike.
Yeah. It'd be like, this is our first graphic made by this person.
Yeah.
But okay. With that being said, the last episode that we aired on our podcast was Season 1, Episode 3, The Fixer, and we pick up into Season 1, Episode 4, Dirty 30. What do you remember about this episode?
I remember when I turned 30.
We're both 30. We're both 30. This episode hits pretty hard.
It hit the mark. Hit the mark. But also, maybe, like, if you ever had any, for those of you who aren't 30 and fear the 30, like that, those memes, Sandstorm meme, here's 30 coming. If anybody has those reservations about turning 30, it's actually pretty awesome. It's just another day.
Yeah.
The existential dread gets pushed back 10 years. And it's really refreshing to see them, just do what we're doing already. What I remember is Sophie has met this guy who has his shit together. Basically, the antithesis of our reservations of turning 30. Because I don't know about you guys, but I definitely don't have my shit together. And I don't think anybody really ever does, but there's definitely levels to it. And this Josh Peck guy is there. He's a career man, living on his own. He reads books.
He says it himself.
Yeah.
He says, at the end of the episode, he literally says, "Oh, look, no, I'm very well put together. I make morning oats."
Yeah, morning oats. Yeah, Tristan makes morning oats, and then he quit making morning oats. You know why?
I hear they're bad.
No, it's not that. It's just a lot of work. His shit's not that together.
Okay.
To dedicated meal prep. But anyways, yeah, man. He also says that he missed out on a lot of his 20s. So I don't know about you guys, but I had a good time. So there's definitely a trade-off there. And she is insecure about her own station in life in comparison to his. You know what I mean? And she's intimidated by him, right? And she's this struggling artist out here trying to be a photographer, which is going to come to a head eventually. And he is a career man, and he reads books, and he's a fine palate. So she tries to be what she's not. She tries to put on the airs of being someone who you think a 30-year-old should be. and it doesn't go well for her, you know.
I have a feeling this episode, you know, we all go through phases of rewatching the old shows we go through. I have a feeling rewatching this one a couple years from now is gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think this is one of those episodes be like, ah man, yep, I feel it. You know, it's like I was 30 when this aired, and now it's like it's gonna be it's gonna be like a shock. It's gonna be like, where are you? What are you doing now? You know, like when I'm 32, and this episode is still like gives you that little bit of you know, life is moving. Do you have your stuff together? And it's like, I don't freaking know. And like you said, I think it's a fair point. I don't know if we ever get our stuff together.
I think it's like if like life is a video game, we're just completing these tasks, man. Going on to the next level. When we're in it, we're like, man, I got to do all this to get there.
Yeah.
It's like, but what are you gonna do? Check out? No. We got to keep going. Save game. And keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. If only we could save in case there's danger. Like save and reset. Oh my gosh.
That was a mistake. I don't want to do that again.
Reload. Hit the button. Reset. But yeah, and so something else that happens in the show that is gonna be surely important for the plot is that Val and Charlie decide to DTR. DTR. You guys know what DTR is? DTR means define the relationship. All right. At some point in every relationship, you have to ask yourself, what are we? What are we? And they decided to do that in this episode. And I actually think it's pretty funny the way they go about it. You know, they're literally make it into a challenge of flirting on everyone in the party and realizing the only people they really want to flirt with are each other. And but, like that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. Pretty awesome. But that's basically the ups and downs of episode 4. You got anything else to add?
No, yeah, what's Ellen doing?
Would do what?
What's Ellen doing?
So Ellen, all I remember from episode 4 is she does that bobbing for apples thing, and she comes up and she's got like I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, Ellen got pushed to the wayside on this one. It feels like you know.
Wasn't her episode.
Wasn't her episode. She gets hers.
We talked about this. They're gonna figure out how to micromanage the slots. Like they have to. They have to figure out which episode is this episode about?
Yeah.
Or which person is this episode about, I should say. But and speaking of persons, we in episode 5 we meet a new person that I imagine will be a reoccurring character in the series. It's surely got to be. Oh my gosh, I have something to tell you about this one.
What's that?
I found a hot take online.
Hot take.
So in episode 5 we meet Sophie's mom. And we learned that all the years
Mama was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah. And essentially we learned that Sophie has accepted this weird level of trauma because her mother is actually the bad guy in her traumatic past.
And Val helps her.
And Val helps her to realize that. And it's really empowering. Like, you know, power of friendship is awesome. Also the power of like honesty between friends is really important. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She could help her keep that fiction along.
Yeah.
But no, she's like, this isn't healthy.
Right. But it's really awesome. And also like the side story along the way is that Jesse goes back to the place where he also had his biggest trauma, which was like going viral for his proposal fail. It's all happening the same thing. Both of these main characters that seem to be star-crossed lovers are reconciling their trauma in the same room. I don't know. Call it what you want to, but I don't know. That seems pretty powerful for the future. But I don't know.
I just want to point out that Charlie had a little moment to shine here as well, helping Jesse confront his trauma. He was the Val in the situation, coming from not like a place of like experience, but of a place of, you know, he's been to a shrink enough to know the tools, and I think it's hilarious on like a classism level because here we are in it's 2020, and you know. Self-help is like, or was it self-care? Sorry. Self-care is the best care, and it's becoming a thing. It's becoming normalized. It's fantastic. Men are being more open about their feelings. And one of the biggest things that's being pushed is obviously therapy, getting help, therapy. And especially in the Black community and in the male community, talking about your problems and getting help has just been frowned upon as a sign of weakness. For Charlie, pause. I lose my train of thought. It's also not cheap. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't know how much a shrink goes, but I know that it's not in my budget. And I know that what I find interesting is these days is how like technology, like everything else, is helping to democratize and make things a little more accessible. So you have these apps like I think it's called BetterHelp. I don't know how much it costs still, but like, the idea is that it's cost effective therapy and everything. It's hilarious that this is happening. But like, Charlie is rich and he's wealthy enough to have had this therapy his whole life, and enough to absorb the lessons or the what's the word,
the
practices that's used on him and use him in his on other people, right? He, and without having any degree or anything like that, obviously I don't think he's a certified shrink or anything, not to belittle the profession, but I think it's funny that he's wealthy enough and well off enough to have this skill and bring it down to his friends who can't afford it. I've gone to a shrink my entire life. Let me use what I've learned on you. And none of them are like, nah, there's no way it's going to work. And it does. Even I'm watching this and I'm thinking, nah, it's not going to work. Just revisit the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Nah, that seems too easy.
Yeah.
But it leads Charlie down to his more, I guess, accepted career path. A bartender. Well, what is a bartender but a shrink that you could,
Yeah. I mean, I was a bartender for like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't 5 years. It felt like 5 years, but there literally is like so much level of listening involved. I feel like I could talk like forever about that. Like I'm glad he ends up being the bartender, even though I'm gonna miss that young kid, or maybe they'll bring him back.
He's still there
in ways, I guess. Maybe
he's still there. Yeah.
That could be a really cool. That could be a really cool dynamic of like the young kid at the bar is like teaching Charlie how to not be posh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that'd be kind of funny. But I always forget that happens. But anyways, the hot take that I learned that has to do with this episode, which I now know can't be true, but there's like maybe a 10% chance it could be true. Like it's like I don't know how they would make it happen. You were wanting to know who Sophie's dad is.
Yes.
Who do you think it is?
I don't think we've met him.
Unless it's Barney.
It can't be Barney.
That's what I'm saying. From what we know already, without blowing too much,
can't be Barney.
It can't be Barney, right? Because she's 30 years old. So I mean, all the How I Met Your Mother characters are 60.
Yeah, and that's a great idea for the next spinoff. You know what I mean? Whenever we're 40 or 50, you know what I mean? Like whenever they want to bring the show back again
for a third time.
So like kind of like they're doing with like, the Fresh Prince or something like that. Hey son, watch this sequel or it's a sequel still. There's no third. It's still
like
sequel.
Barney's daughter.
What? Yeah.
I was a player. Here's what happened.
Boom, and then Barney. Oh my God! And Barney is the host or whatever. The narrator. That's the show we need to see next. We're not there yet, unless they want to fast forward it. Into the future with flying cars and shit.
Yeah, like I said, it can't be him. But whenever I was watching other YouTube videos to check out the competition, see what other people were saying, I was like, it was a hot take. I was like,
it's a stupid take.
That is. But it was very intriguing. I was like, okay, that would be sick. But yeah, it's clearly
a great pitch.
There are definitely, and it was coming from someone who had finished the season. So they're like, I was like, how did you
come to this? 30 years old
after like MASH.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
But anyways, on to episode 6. I loved this episode. I really liked this episode.
Stacy's.
This is Stacy's. This is actually a really this is something that every couple probably deals with, and it's like the reality that the person that you have fallen in love with has had a love before you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's so hard to deal with on the inside, like the level of jealousy and doubt that you hold.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think this show uses like slapstick humor in a way that it's so funny how drastic it goes that it really helps to like talk about this thing in a really comedic level. I mean, like she literally gets to go to a bed and breakfast weekend with Sid and Sid's Hannah. And I'm lucky that name was right. I was not gonna find that name if it wasn't written right there.
Those of you guys who've been watching, we don't know what Sid's fiance's name is.
Cannot remember her name. But anyways, Sid and Hannah and Josh Peck, what's his name?
Drew.
Drew and Sophie go to this bed and breakfast area, and it's like super bougie and fancy and whatnot. And there's a couple really funny lines, like the owner Sophie says something like, when there's like, everything here is homegrown, and she's like, well, he's not, and she points at the host, and he's like, actually, that's my son.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But anyways, she has this moment of jealousy and doubt like into her, and she does some ridiculous stuff. She steals his phone,
Yeah,
and then texts the wrong person out of just error, user error, just text the wrong person, and it's crazy. But I think a really important part of this episode that was really cool to notice is that Sid, someone who actually seems like one of the fringe characters. I mean, he's definitely a main character, but out of those main characters they've introduced, it seems like him and Ellen and Charlie are like this like subclass to Val, Sophie, and Jesse.
The immigrants.
Well, no, I thought you were trying to get out that like
No. Yeah. If anything, it was. I thought it was interesting you were saying that. I don't think there's any sort of nefarious plot. I think it's just. I personally think it's really dope that they have 3 immigrants in the show.
Oh no,
and
yeah,
and that you're pointing, and that you just lifted those 3. You're like, oh, those 3 of the immigrants. Yeah.
No, I just feel like they're not the story. The show so far hasn't been written around the things happening to them.
Yeah.
It seems to be written around these 3. Like, Charlie's only here because Val is here.
Yes.
Right? And Jesse's only here because, Alan's only here because Jesse's here.
Yes.
Sid is only here because Jesse's here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it seems like, and then
I don't know. I'd probably refute the Sid part. Sid and Jesse are Marshall and Ted. Like we don't know how far they go back, but they've been friends from the jump.
Right.
Like they're best friends. So like. You could argue the same way with Jesse. Jesse's
I guess,
on there because
it could go both ways. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Definitely valid for Charlie and Ellen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're literally there for those people.
But anyways, the thing that I like about this episode is Sid helps Sophie recover, and Sid, like, they both meet each other out in that hallway, and they're like, oh, like, we're both in the doghouse right now, and like, yeah. So I really enjoy that you have this, even though. Okay, the video I watched that I was just telling you about.
Yeah.
They had a good point. Like everything, all these dynamics so far are like super forced, and that's super true. I mean, it's a.
Is this a critique?
Yeah, their first video ever.
They could eat my ass.
Their first video on this show was why How I Met Your Father sucks, but then their second video is like, actually, How I Met Your Father is pretty good.
All right.
So. From the first 4 episodes, they felt like everything was being forced, but it's like literally, it's Hollywood, man. It's like literally,
Hollywood.
But
yeah,
you
what's being forced? I don't want to watch the video, but I think I might watch it out of spite. What's being forced? What like interactions?
He thinks
that's writing.
The idea that their destiny is like based off of 2 episodes, and now they're just going to like be incredible. That was the critique. But anyways. Before we get off too far,
this is a new podcast. We're not going to critique this other podcast's critique.
Let's pull him up right now. Listen, look at this guy.
Look him up. You piece. Yeah, this is the fandom. All right, we go hard in the paint for Hillary Duff. All right. Now I was going to say I don't know if you lost your train of thought, but like I think we talked about this before. I don't know if this is what he means by forced, but I love being reminded that these are not close friends, and this is how close friendships are developed. You know what I mean? Like you're right. So like Sid is in relation to Sophie. Sid is there because of Jesse.
Yeah.
Right. But they met at the same time, and here they are having their little, what's that? New girl thing. Winston and Cece messed around. Yeah. They're having their own little mess around.
Yeah.
Their own little like B plot adventure. And it's just tender. You know what I mean? Platonic. They're both going through with their relationships. They're both in the doghouse.
Right.
And he gives her some sound advice.
And the only other thing I would point out about this episode, this is the episode that you learn that Jesse is jealous that he didn't get to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's jealous that Drew got to go over him.
Yeah.
But
third wheel, man.
Yeah.
Third wheel hard.
Yeah.
I know that will.
Yeah. So that's kind of the plot of season 1, episode 6. Is like literally it's just like Sophie and Sid are both dealing with relationship problems, but Sophie she is shown a whole lot of grace in her thing. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm Drew and that thing goes down, I'm like, sorry, Sophie, this is a mess. This is some red flag stuff. Yeah. I don't know how realistic that is, but yeah. But anyways, off to season 1, episode 7. What do you remember about episode 7?
I remember harking back to one of our original like hallmarks of this series is that, you know, it's very relevant. And here these guys are doing makeup tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
I can't relate to that because one, I don't even TikTok, you know that. So like this whole trend of like seeing people do stuff on the internet, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm an internet hobbit. You know what I mean? I barely use YouTube. Here we are on YouTube. I know the irony. I get it. But yeah, I feel like I'm an internet hobby. If it's not Facebook or Instagram, you know, I'm probably not there. But yeah, there's this whole like trend that's going on of people like doing. I saw it. I've seen it. People doing makeup like Frieza and stuff like that, sexy Frieza, stuff like that. Yeah. And yeah, they found one like say make yourself look like a bird, and they do it. Now, what's funny about the episode is because we're skipping steps here. These two are both trying to get stuff done. I guess it's like a tradition they do. I don't know if it's once a week or once a month or whatever, but they make it seem like, you know, to build history. Is that forced? To build history in their relationship. Like, yeah, every once in a while, we sit around, we isolate ourselves, we just dedicate ourselves to getting work done together, which is a distraction.
Yeah.
In and of itself.
Yeah.
But
I've been there.
Yeah, let's do our homework together, Ethan.
Yeah.
But yeah, these two Jesse needs to write some songs, he needs to get some music work, which is funny, like work, right? Like I don't want to say it's not work, but it's not his job. So it's like, yeah, let me just do my hobby, but dedicate myself to this hobby. Yeah. But meanwhile, Sid, his had more gravity is all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It wasn't work either. It was getting, you know, doing the wedding planning. But you're doing that. Yeah, it takes a little bit of dedication. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can't sit people with people and stuff, you know? Yeah. So yeah, they want to sit down and get this stuff done, but, you know, everything distracts them. From TikTok to birds, literal birds. Yeah. And they get nothing done. Surprise, folks. They get nothing done.
I mean, do we need to address the racial issue of birdface in this episode?
Yeah. Like, very disrespectful to birds.
Seems really unjust.
Yeah.
But
Big Bird is.
Yeah.
He's 6. I don't know if you knew that, but Big Bird is 6. If he wasn't 6, he'd be very upset.
Yeah, he doesn't understand yet. He doesn't understand how offensive this is. But one day, someone's gonna have to tell him.
Yeah, they'll tell him like,
you shouldn't let people do this.
They're making fun of you.
Yeah,
And one of them actually looked good. The other one looked horrible. That's what I thought was funny. That's what I thought was funny. It was like, you did yours better than mine. Yeah. Or I did yours better. You did mine. That's what I mean to say.
But also another important thing about this episode, I think it calls back to what you've said this whole time, is like these are hardworking people. In this, and it's not an unrealistic idea that these people just have to do. It is like low key kind of still unrealistic that the level of income they have lets them live where they are. Yeah, I would say, but we at least understand that they are struggling in New York. Yeah, you know what I mean. So like. Sophie's arc here, Sophie and Val's arc, they go off to like literally their only job that night is to follow around some young, rich, born into richness social media star, like kind of thing. And it's like
whose mom is actually a successful like art curator.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so she probably got it out the mud. We don't know where she got it from, but you know, yes, she's rich for whatever reason. She has a talent, but you know how she got it. We don't know her backstory. Right. But yeah, she's rich for her talent. Her daughter, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Coattails.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
So, which I love. Again, another episode where Val really steps in. And is like,
hard.
I'm gonna take care of this. For you. You know what I mean? So like, Val is Sophie's best friend. Sid is just.
Yeah, she's ride or die. Yeah, I mean, I don't like not to say like if friendships have like, or if teamwork and all that kind of stuff has like dynamics, have like roles to play. I don't think Sophie can go to bat for Val like Val goes to bat for Sophie.
Oh yeah,
She doesn't have it in her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Val is the heavy.
But Val knows it. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Val knows it.
Yeah.
We both know it.
Exactly. Yeah. Sophie has her own qualities that Val needs.
Yeah.
But yeah. What Val steps in, I guess, like with the second time she's done, I can't wait to see it more times. She is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. You're not gonna mess with you could try to mess with my friend, but once I see you messing with my friend, you're not gonna mess with my friend. You know what I mean? Like you're messing with both of us. And I don't think you want to mess with me.
If she does, she does it in a way that can get them in trouble. You know what I mean? This is Sophie's job. Be like, no, check this. I got this. Never bullshit or bullshit it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, you're gonna do this for me or else.
Yeah. Val so this episode makes me want to see How I Met Your Mother infamously used throwback, like they cut to the college days, stuff like that, or like
I want to, I do want to know the origin.
I want to see Val's like, why is she like this?
Why is she like this?
Where is she from?
Where is she from?
What was she dealing with?
And we know she's from New York, so man, now I just kind of want to know what part of New York. You know what I mean? Like, she's not from Manhattan.
Yeah.
I also just want to know like their connection, because we've heard we know that they're intimate, like if that's the right word. They go way back.
Yeah.
She knows about her mom. But like, how far back? Are they like Cece and Jess back?
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Elementary school back.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. And that goes for Sid and Jess too, or Sid Jess. Sid and Jesse too. We gotta do how much your fandom for New Girl. Oh man.
Gosh.
Yeah. But but yeah, dude. I would really like to see that as well. But I was getting that again. Something about
we're talking about cutting back to the past.
Cutting back to the past. I think the train is gone.
Okay, no worries. Here we are now in episode 8, The Perfect Shot. This is a pretty cool episode. Sophie and Jesse navigate a day in the life of an artist. Valentina retaliates against her boss. Sid and Ellen deal with an unexpected visitor. To me, that last plot line is like the one I'm most curious about.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the first one, Sophie and Jesse navigate a day in the life of an artist, ends up being kind of like the through line to get to the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jesse is now trying to help Sophie get this shot that she needs. She's earned her chance with this agency, or what, I don't know what you want to call it, with this group, but she has to show that she can do like actual art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was
prove it. Gotta prove it.
Yeah, gotta prove it.
What's that preparation meets opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is, kind of thing.
Which,
maybe not.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's dope, right? The reward, you're saying the reward of her into the bargain for following that girl's daughter around and taking pictures of her was, you get to be in my showcase.
Right.
Find your best piece. Art, especially photography. I don't want to say especially. Art is art. Art is so fucking subjective. Like whenever that happened, I remember thinking like, oh my God, how are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
One, you're supposed to you have one piece. That's a 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Do you even have it yet? That's another thing which the episode kind of like reveals. Like,
right.
She doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
But she has to go through her whole portfolio and just decide which piece is going to potentially make my career. Jesus Christ. Exactly.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And I do think, you said art is art, but I do think there's a weird level that photography exists, and it's...
I do feel like photography does exist differently, because and don't, to all you artists out there, all you photographers out there, or even like budding photographers, don't take this the wrong way, but it's just like, you have something like, when it comes to like painting, is a legitimate practice skill. I can't paint for shit, but I can take a picture.
Yeah.
But then there's all about the eye, right?
Right.
How you see things and how you can
approach,
the
editing,
lighting, all that kind of stuff. That's where the art comes in,
right?
For sure, for you photographers. So it's just like me, who just uses my phone as a camera primarily and doesn't think about any of that kind of stuff. I'm just like, man. And I feel like, again, I don't know, because of your phones, it also is more democratized. Like, anybody can try to become a photographer these days. And again, the good ones make it. So like, don't let me belittle the artwork.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to belittle photography at all, but it's just like, yeah. This slight tangent. There's a movie called The French Dispatch. You heard about that movie?
No.
Have you heard of I can't remember his name anymore. Paul Weston Anderson, something like that. I don't know. He's a writer director. Apparently, people love his movies. The Grand Budapest Hotel, The French Dispatch.
Oh, these are some dope.
Yeah, dude,
crap.
you'd think this movie would be great, and it really is great. Maybe I'm missing it. I haven't finished it yet. But something that I found that was very interesting was one of the plots, because it's a series of plots. Wes Anderson, his name is Wes Anderson. One of the plots is there's a painter who's in prison who does abstract art, and it looks like abstract. Like, what makes this great art? And they say something that I thought was interesting. Because I'm not a professional paint scholar either or anything. They say what separates an abstract artist from just any slob painting on a canvas is if you ask an actual artist to paint you a bird, he will paint you a bird, and it might be really good, but it's not how he sees it. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is the assignment. You said paint you a bird, so I painted you this sparrow. There it is. It's really good. Can you see the dimensions? It's accurate. But also, look at this. You know what I mean? So does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
The artist has the skill
Right.
to do it.
Right.
To paint this bird accurately, to paint this elephant, to paint your portrait. They have the skill, but this is what they choose to paint. That's where the passion is.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's where the artistry comes from, right?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Like man, that is really interesting. Because, like, again, I don't understand abstract art.
Yeah.
I know what I know what I like. I know it looks cool. Like a Jackson Pollock, yeah. But millions of dollars for some reason.
Right. I don't get it.
The Mona Lisa is a real person. Yeah. I don't get it. But anyways, yeah,
I'll always have a disconnect between how much music as an art gets a rise out of me versus like visual art gets a rise out of me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like music hits me on a daily basis.
Same.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like a 1 in a million when a visual art.
Exactly. That's what I want to say. Like, art is art, so don't take anything the wrong way. But yeah, like, I, who don't display any instruments, really enjoy music, audible audio art. When it comes to visual art, I love movies and I love television and I love stage, and it's also a performance art. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I would say I would put that as a different thing. Because like yours is like, yeah, well, it's performance art, and I want to call it like an emotional art, but I guess they're all
emotional. They're all emotional. I think that's what art's supposed to do, right? Hit you on an emotional level. But yeah, she's been asked the impossible task of going through your whole portfolio and saying, this is what's going to make you or break you, at least right now. Because, a lot of people have several chances, you know what I mean? People have several opportunities. But for all she knows, this is it. Yeah. So, what coulda, shoulda, woulda, maybe I should have used this picture, that kind of thing. That's a terrifying notion. And she does it.
And then another weird thing about the star-crossed lover, the perfect picture that actually ends up doing really well is of this
damn good picture
that she's like not interested in at this point.
It's like a rugged Marilyn Monroe, Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, you're right, because the wind's blowing and
the smoke and everything. Yeah, he's wearing a white shirt. I feel like maybe I'm wrong here. But my artistic interpretation was some sort of masculine, rugged Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. I didn't put that together, but once you said it, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, episode 8, I feel like has a ton of depth to it, and it's probably going to be one of those ones that we need to rewatch again. But
to rewind a little bit on that, because like the episode's about them coming to grips with their career path, right. Like, we're talking about them being artists. Like, that is their job. So I feel like I kind of belittled that earlier when I was talking about him. His dedication day was to write a song, right? Like, I wasn't looking at it like that was work, but that is his work, right? He's trying to make it. Yeah. So like, he has to put in the hours, put in the time to write the song or write the melody. I don't think he's the singer, right? But still, find the muse and put it to paper, put it to practice. In this episode, they're coming to grips with their own, like, artistic mortality, right? They are 30 and they haven't made it yet. They live in New York City, and it ain't cheap. And they have to ask themselves after meeting, because Sophie chips her tooth, so she goes to a dentist. That's another thing. Boom. They don't have insurance. They don't have your insurance. When guys, Ethan knows this, I can be a pretty political person. And when I tell you that the insurance industry is a scam, it is. You know what I mean? It is what Chris Rock says, NK shit, right? It's a form of slavery. You know what I mean? It holds you to your job as with the fear of, insecurity, right? Like, no one really loves their job, but man, for me personally, I really hate the idea of not having insurance. And I've been there before. That's fucking terrifying. So I felt that on a deep level. So you have these two people who are artists in the gig economy, if you will, and they are not insured. And Jesse has a underground dentist who, will take peanuts in exchange for dental work. And that's another thing. I hate dentists. I don't hate them. I'm terrified. Yeah. Always bad news. But yeah, they go to the dentist and they meet another artist who hasn't made it. He's probably in his 50s or 60s, and he hasn't made it. He's a writer.
Oh yeah,
he's a writer trying to write a book. He kept telling himself that by the next time this person's out of office, or Obama's in office, or George Bush is in office, not in that order, obviously, his next book will be, a bestseller, and it never happens for him.
I bet you that's a reoccurring joke.
Oh, I hope so. I hope this guy makes it.
Yeah.
I hope this guy makes it. You know what I mean? Yeah. By the next election, if the show is still going, they come back to this guy, and his book is finally selling. But yeah, they get to see, they come to grips with their own artistic or mortality. They get to see the potential death of their career right there and right in front of them. And how long do they have it in them before they cave for the nuclear family and the job with the insurance and the benefits, you know what I mean, the salary, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I don't know which one has it easier, being a photographer or probably being a photographer. She could, even if she's not famous, she can make a living,
right? Yeah,
doing wedding photography, which she does. Yeah, so
wedding photography and stuff like that.
Yeah, the benefits part is out the window, but she could still make a living on her end. Yeah. But it's Jesse who has to
he
make
seems
or break.
To like his job, but
he likes what, as a part-time teacher.
Yeah, he likes the kids. He likes teaching. A call back to an earlier episode we did when when the kid comes out and says, "I got Twinkle Twinkle figured out," or whatever, and he's empowering. He's "That's a hard song to play. Good job." You know what I mean?
It's a very rewarding job teaching, and which is another reason why we're about to get there. Drew was "Yo, just go full tilt. What are you doing? Just go full tilt.
Yeah, give it up.
Give it up.
Right.
Which
give up the art for the career.
Which I'm of the belief he could do both, but obviously, I do know there's a certain amount of dedication that comes with being a musical artist. Right now, Jesse's not in the band, so I don't think he has that tether. Right. Go teach. But I think what makes his situation, special is that the lead singer of his band and his muse, and the person he wrote for, did make it.
Right.
She made it without him. Maybe even in spite of him. You know what I mean? And I don't think they actually touch on that yet. But you have to ask yourself, she broke up with you, and here she is on tour. She has a record deal and on tour.
Yeah.
And she's not singing your songs.
Right.
That we know of. I mean, you're clearly not getting any royalties for it.
But she's singing songs about you.
She's singing songs about you.
We learn here in a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So damn. I mean, they have not touched that yet, but I swear to God, it's like a nail in the fucking coffin right there.
So that's the B plot of this episode, is that Sid and Ellen come home one day to find or she's not gonna, I actually don't remember how that interaction happens, but basically Jesse's ex comes back and is there to talk to Jesse about some stuff that's about to come up.
Indeed.
And so with all the seriousness, by the way, shout out to anyone that's watching this. I was a friend of mine at OCU. If you were in the performance arts school there, and you're still on that grind, keep on going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep it going. It can strike at any time. So keep it going. Do you? We'll be rooting for you. We mentioned our friend Barrett Lyle earlier. Shout out to Barrett Lyle for being on the Hulu show.
Pam and Tommy. Yeah. Shout out to Barrett Lyle. If you ever watch this, he's on the grind out there in LA, and he got his, I don't know if it's his first television gig, but he definitely made it on. So
Actually, I have a friend, Darius Wright. You met Darius when you came down.
yeah, I remember Darius. Yeah,
Dude, he just played Michael Jackson on Broadway.
no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll show you later.
Good for him. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. You should see the video. You'll be like, oh,
It's like is he like the understudy, the top guy, he's the star? Where's his level at?
he it's like one of those, from what I understand from Facebook. He was like the understudy, and the other guy had to like bail.
Oh,
So he got bumped up, and he knew all he had
Knew
to
the
learn
lines,
that.
knew the
He
moves.
knew them, he learned them, and got it down. Again, I'm like semi removed from it, so I
Yeah.
don't know the exact details, but it was like a thing that was like all the things lined up for him to play Michael Jackson on Broadway. So,
preparation, opportunity, dude. I love it because it's funny because I feel like I just saw like an advertisement for that. You know what I mean? I didn't know this is a thing.
I didn't either.
Yeah, a Michael Jackson Broadway show. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know.
And now you're telling me that your friend from college, this guy that I met once,
Yeah.
is I think we had lunch together, something like that. He said
Something
with us
like
at
that.
the,
It was when you came down for the Mumford.
Yeah,
concert.
Mumford & Sons,
I
great
think
show.
Maybe he came over that
Yeah.
night or something like that.
dude. That's badass, man.
Yeah, it's sick. It's super cool. But anyways, all that to be said, to all of our friends that are out there, and so Ibby is also an actor, and to all the actors and artists and musicians and all these different careers that have no end or anything like that. You know, just keep going. Find some good time to make for yourself. That's part of the self-care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Find some time to do your art and do your craft and do it the way you want to do it, and then it's gonna work out.
Key's out there. That girl I did the show with Greenwood. She moved to LA. I think she's she's shooting something right now.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't asked her what it was, but like, yeah, she keeps posting like, I know she's in a play. She told me that she's doing a play, but she's also like shooting something based on her story. Like it's like day 10 of 13. So whatever it is seems to be like a quick shoot, but she's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll get picked up quick.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
talented.
She's talented for sure.
She'll get picked up quick. But yeah, the episode, the B plot of episode 8 leads straight into episode 9, and so the B plot of episode 8 is this idea that Jesse's ex is back and has something to tell Jesse about, which is this idea that her hit song is called J Street, which leads us into episode 9. J Street is a song that is essentially about him. Like the song, I don't remember the lyrics specifically. It's like something about I miss being down J Street. Or
It's
something
basically a metaphor for wondering if she made the right decision.
like that. Yeah.
So those of you who have been watching, which is all of you who are watching, you know that that Jesse was famously broken up with on the YouTubes. And she went on to have a successful career, or semi-successful. She's on the rise. She's in a good spot. And he is that guy who got broken up with on Twitter or on YouTube. And now she's wondering if she made the right decision, and it's out there. Which is super unfair, honestly, to like embarrass you like that and then also profit from you like that.
I just had a hot take.
What's that?
I just had a hot take. Who was filming the breakup?
Ooh.
I think we'll meet the person that was filming
Behind the camera?
Yeah,
Yeah, that jerk.
because she wouldn't have released
Yeah,
it. He wouldn't have released it.
Exactly.
So there was a third party person that probably filmed it and said, "This is crazy. I'm gonna post it."
I never thought about that. I never thought about it that way because, like, clearly it's a grand romantic gesture.
Right.
So you would imagine he was having it recorded, but he never would have shared that.
Release it.
Yeah. So he has a different perspective. He has a different angle, right? And because I'm mad at her still. Listen, ladies, gentlemen who get proposed to, if maybe this is wrong, maybe this is disingenuous, maybe I'm wrong here.
I know what you're about to say. But
If it's a grand romantic gesture, I say go with it. Hash it out later in private, because that is devastating. I can't imagine. And it's different because of him, right? It's on the internet. So your take makes it special, makes it different. I give her a little more grace now, because obviously it wasn't intended to go on the internet. I never thought of it that way. But
surely she didn't release that.
Exactly. But you think that, we're in a bar full of people. I do love this guy. Maybe I should say yes for now. We can talk about this later, and then we can both walk away from it amicably. Hey, did you just roast a girl on TV? Yeah, but
It ain't it.
it ain't it. It didn't work out. We talked it out. It's not going to be a thing. But yeah, dude. In that episode, as I was talking about, as an artist, she reveals that part of her reason turns out it wasn't about not loving Jesse at all, which is also gives her a little more grace. They do a good job of resurrecting her. You know, a person who was never a character really. She didn't really break up with him because she didn't love him, but because she wasn't able to express herself as an artist yet. So it was an artistic decision, which I also feel like could have been talked about.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because we learned that Jesse is the primary songwriter, both lyrical and, you know, musical. So it's all, the band is him, and she's the lead singer.
She's the talent.
She's the talent. You know, she's the voice. She's the face. And whenever he paralyzed, whenever he proposed to her,
That'd be a completely different story.
yeah,
When he paralyzed her.
yeah, well, you know,
Right.
pushed off stage. Yeah, whenever he proposed to her, and she, you know, had to have this snap future of herself. You know, is she doing it again? You know, is she going along with his voice? What's her voice? What's her path look like?
Yeah.
So she made the artistic decision to go out on her own, and it worked out for her. I feel like they could have both won had they just talked it out.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
we would never show.
But yeah, so that's something that we need to see later. Is we need to see more of their relationship, because as far as we know right now, it's some kind of mutual. She just had doubts and wasn't ready for it. But like they could show us like anything. They could show us that like all along the way she was giving him signals that I'm not ready. All along the way that you know, that he was being overbearing or he was being, you know, this or that. Like we don't know a whole lot right now. We so
it turns out she lilied him. You know what I mean? Lily and Marshall. She decided to go the art route. Lily got the opportunity to go to art school, you know, a prestigious program that she just couldn't turn up. She couldn't. Now, mind you, I think we talked about this before too. They could have done the long distance thing.
yeah.
They could have done it.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, she severed ties and she just cut bait and went full tilt on the art thing. And so did old girl whose name I don't know.
And so episode 9 called J Street, named after the song. It is pretty interesting because it's leading us into, it's our first glimpse of our first fallback character, who is not someone I don't think anyone saw coming. But this is our first glimpse at the captain. So all of a sudden, we already knew this was in the same universe. I mean, they literally have the same apartment. They've addressed that these people are real, and we're like sitting here thinking like at some point they're gonna have to have some kind of crossover. What is it going to be? And all of a sudden, it is the captain.
The captain.
The captain. Yeah, and you know, great job. Great job, writers. You know, good on the actor for coming back.
And how they're doing it too, on like, because like even the son's like, who is this guy?
Yeah, why does he matter?
Why does he matter? And I'm over here like, I know who this guy is, but also, why does he matter?
Yeah. That is a good question. Why does he matter?
Yeah.
So, and all this kind of leads us into the finale of season 1. But if you guys want to talk about the finale, you're gonna have to come back for another episode, and we'll see you guys then. So
yes. It is a trip.
it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty. I'm happy.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm happy the way it went.
I don't use the term on the edge of my seat a lot. I know it's a colloquial term. It's an idiom, if you will. I was on the edge of my seat. I was watching it in bed, and I have a king size bed. And I moved to the foot of it. Like I'm just like, wow, yeah. This is a good episode. This is you can't buy this kind of drama in stores.
Nah, they did good.
Actually, you can.
Yeah, I mean,
movies.
But yeah. So we're really excited to talk about the finale of the first season of How I Met Your Father. But before we dip out, make sure you guys are putting down in the comments some of the fandoms that you would like us to explore and learn about, or ones you just curious about. Guys, we'll watch anything. We'll literally watch anything.
Yeah.
Like literally.
I am a consumer of content. Will Saunders knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll watch anything. We'll play anything. We played a crap ton of video games, so it's like between him and I, we'll find it.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll get it done. So let us know what it is, and then yeah, we'll catch you in the next episode of How I Met Your Fandom. See y'all later. Bye.